guess your day was pretty much filled up with interviews.
Well, the latter part of it was, but I got to rest today and stay, and it was wonderful.
How was the weather in the morning? Wonderful, because we just arrived.
Yeah, it's been great all day.
Okay, cool.
Beautiful.
When did you arrive in Italy?
We got here Tuesday. Yeah, we left Monday, arrived Tuesday in Rome. We came here after a couple of days yesterday.
Okay, and how long are you staying?
We'll be here tomorrow, and then we move on to, I forget where, Savona.
Savona, all right.
I think.
It's on the seaside, yeah, it's not far from here. Yeah.
That's next. And then
That's your holiday.
Well, yeah, it's a mixture. I'm doing both holiday and work together. Plus, I'm riding while I'm here, so
that's great.
I'm having a wonderful day.
Is that inspiring? Is that it?
Most of the time when I travel, I don't work, but once in a while I do. And this time I did. I had a feeling I would, so I brought my best.
Maybe the environment can be.
Well, that can do it.
It's interesting, yeah?
Yeah, it's a beautiful place, very restful.
Okay, excellent. I just had a few questions. Actually, not relating to your book. What we do, we blog about digital culture here, and maybe you might know that e-books and digital publishing just arrived in this country 1.5 years ago. So it's booming right now. Yet there seems to be quite a certain resistance from publishing houses. And they're not spread. It's about 1% of the market.
Right, it is 1%.
Yeah. Now, do you actually think that knowing that you're writing for an audience that's going to read your books on mobile devices or on e-readers, on tablets, does that change your writing?
No.
Not at all?
No, why would it?
Okay, well, there's some experiments like digital storytelling.
Well, I mean, I might be open to trying something like that, but it doesn't change my writing when I write. I mean, if somebody said, let's try a book where we have interactive elements, I might be interested in that. But I don't want the traditional way of telling a story to go away because, I don't really like the assistance of other things outside of the voice of the narrator, or the voice of the writer. But that doesn't mean there aren't other ways of telling a story, or that I might not be involved in that. I've done audio books, which I've read. I just produced a film. I'm producing other films. I'm going to direct a film. And those are other ways of telling a story. So all of them are valid, but I don't want that way of doing it to go away. And I don't mind that it appears on an ebook as a novel, but I don't want that to be eliminated by the other methods. I merely want those methods to be added in.
To be integrating.
Yeah. And ebooks they're going to grow. They're going to grow rapidly, and there's no use fighting.
So what matters the most is the story at the end of the day.
Story, always. Well, the storyteller matters more than the story.
Okay.
Because if you tell a story and it's not very interesting, it's like telling a joke. Not everybody can tell a joke.
That's true.
I can give you the joke, and I can give them a joke, give me the joke. We can all tell the joke, but we may not all be able to do it the same way. Some of us may tell it where it's hysterical. The other person is, And of course, some jokes affect people differently, but it's the storyteller, not the story. Stephen King says it's the story, not the storyteller. I don't agree.
All right.
I love Stephen, but I have to say that I don't agree with that. I believe it is the storyteller.
Did you ever get any feedback from your readers?
All the time.
Yeah. Do you use social networks? Twitter,
I have a fan page on Facebook, and I use Twitter.
Okay. How do you find it? Do you think it's a way to connect with readers?
I do think it's a way of connecting with readers. Yeah.
Did you ever get any good feedback or insults sometimes?
Oh yeah, you get
all sorts of stuff, right?
Yeah, mostly I've gotten really all good stuff. I'm always glad to get it, but I try not to let it influence what I do. When I write for me. I don't write for other people. When I get done, then I hope other people like it.
Okay.
It's a different way of thinking, because if I'm writing for you, then I'm no longer writing for me.
Okay.
Or if I'm writing for someone else, I'm trying to guess what everybody else wants. I couldn't have more guessed what you want, what this person wants, what this person wants. So I have to write for me. Then when I get done, I hope enough people will like it. Yeah. And obviously, I'm not a multi-million-dollar bestseller. I'm a successful writer,
which is good enough, right? Which is good enough. Okay. And how about your publishers?
What about
do they agree on the fact that you publish in a digital way? Do they suggest you to do they intervene in your writing? Thinking about going digital, for example.
I do go digital. I'm both on. In the U.S., I have books that are in print as books. I have books in print and digital. I have books in audio all at the same time.
At the same time on?
Same time. Well, audio's coming a little behind.
Okay.
But All three men.
What sells the most?
Still books do.
Still the paper.
Yeah, but the ebooks are gaining.
Okay.
Yeah, the ebooks are gaining. Audio does actually surprisingly well. But I think ebooks will be the main source of books.
And do you think that's for a different kind of audience, like younger people, for example?
I think younger people are it, but no, not entirely. I think younger people are a main part of it, but I've met a lot of readers that are 40 and above that said, I used to read 3 books a year, now I read 70, now I read 90, because it's easier for them to load. I don't understand that.
You can enlarge your phone.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah, and on the phone.
Yeah, it's
digital. But for me, I don't quite understand that. But for a lot of people that work all day long, they don't have time to go to the bookstore. They don't want to go in and go there and browse around. They want to go to their internet, pop up what they want, get it instantly. So I don't think it's an age thing. In fact, I think a lot of older readers are reading more now because they've gotten in a rut of going home and eating dinner, and I worked all day. But if I'm going to have to go out and look for the book, I just look on the internet and I pop that book up.
So in a way, it seems it's a way of promoting the reading itself.
I think so, and also people can carry that book around with them. A lot of people feel like I've got 4 or 5 books on this thing or more, and it's easy for me, And so a lot of people I know, they say what I like is that when I go on a trip, I don't have to worry about getting the book dog-eared and torn up and keeping my place and all that, because I have this machine, and it's it. And another thing that's happening is storage. Is more and more people fill the earth, and you have less room. Like say you live in a big city like Rome, New York, something like that. If you want a library, I have room for a library where I am. I have 3,000, 4,000 square feet, but other people no. And so they've got this one thing which they can contain a whole library. I think that's amazing. I think that's science fiction. I think that's Ray Bradbury. I think that's Isaac Asimov. I think we're Philip K. Dick. We're living in that world now. I saw somebody that said, all those predictions of science fiction writers made didn't come true. I thought, except for flying cars, we're living in it. Instant food, microwave, phones that we carry in our hands. The books on the e-reader, everything, the internet. I mean, we're living in that world.
So they sold the future before everyone else.
Yeah. We're living in it. Credit cards. Yeah. All that was part of what they said was going to happen. They may have just said it because it made a good story, but damn, they were right.
Well, that's the limit between reality and fiction. Right?
Yeah.
Sometimes they cross over.
That's right.
Well, that's all about it. Thank you.